Good afternoon, friends. Myself, Dr. Raviraj Ahirrao. We are known as Vastu Raviraj. I am proud to tell you that Vastu Raviraj is today India's largest house in Vastu Shastra consultancy and education. We have our office at Thane and Pune. Plus, we have our office at Singapore, and our company is registered in Sydney, Australia. So, even for last 2 years, as a Vastu consultant, we are also paying income tax and filing the returns to Australia government also. First of all, I will be very much thankful to Honorable Minister Mahadev Naik because he has given me an opportunity to express my views or what exactly Vastu Shastra can do for industry. Although I am doing such activities with many state governments in India, I would like to name the few states and the difference. First of all, I would like to say that I am doing such activities with Chhattisgarh government. I am doing some activities since last 1 year, after last Vibrant Gujarat in Gujarat also. For last almost 10 years, I am doing such activities for government of Maharashtra also and Goa also. But the way this today's meeting was conducted, I am really, I will appreciate, since I have been associated with different state governments, but the way this type of meeting is conducted here, we don't have in Maharashtra. And where I will say that in Maharashtra, at least about 15 to 20 ministers are directly associated with me from Vastu Shastra point of view. But really, I thank Mahadev Naik and of course the Goa government also. Dear friends, you know what happened to Enron in Maharashtra. Total failure. Almost the investment of, at least from banks, different banks, those who have invested 12,000 crores. And today, a project with the capacity to produce 2,700 megawatt electricity, but working at hardly some 9% capacity utilization. And there is a major Vastu defect in that project. On west, they have sea, and on the east, they have the hills. It should have been other way around, then it should have been successful. Recently, I tell you, another one of the biggest project that is coming up in Maharashtra, that is Mihan at Nagpur, about 4,400 hectares. Fortunately, the chief engineer of that project is my student, and in his private capacity, he invited me, sir, please do come. And I have prepared a report on Mihan also, that there are Vastu defects that are responsible for not its being in take off. Similarly, you must be aware of the another one project. Of course, it is not with the industry, but it is a residential or a new hill station that is coming up in Maharashtra. That is Lavasa. In March 2008, they invited me for a Vastu analysis. I did my analysis and I have given my report in black and white, and I told them, because they were to launch their phase 2. And I mentioned in my report, the moment you will launch the phase 2, you will face lot of public unrest, lot of problems from government, and you are likely to face some legal battles also. And the moment they started it in the 2010, you know, I think you must have read in the newspaper or from the media also, you must have come to know what Lavasa has faced. So, my dear friend, industry, whether it is a big industry in Goa also, I have done some work for one of the leading industry, pharma industry here. About 3 plants of there I have done Vastu analysis. Even one of the company, pharma, they wanted to go for expansion, FDC. I have helped them to select the plot. So like that, whether it is a small or big or medium scale industries. My dear friend, investment is huge, especially in MSME sector. When the entrepreneur, they develop the funds, how they develop the funds? Either by selling the ornaments of wife or ancestral land they are selling, and then they start their business. And with small mistakes from Vastu point of view, the risk factor goes up like anything. So my dear friend, huge investment, and right from land selection, approvals, execution or construction of the industry, and starting the production. All these things are definitely one after the other are risk factors for you. Then procurement of raw material, manufacturing operations, selling, dispatch, logistics, government obligations and duties. Even whatever you sell, the recovery is another big problem for you. Then industrial relations, the labor unrest, the competitive activities. Sir, that means there are many unending problems. But remember, all these problems are absolutely associated with Vastu Shastra. You will be surprised too. But I have hundreds of cases that I have cleared in, not only in India, but almost I am operating in more than 20 countries at present. So Vastu Shastra especially. So Vastu Raviraj, as I told you, being the largest house, we have more than 25 experts working under one roof, which no Vastu consultant has got such a setup in India. More than 25,000 clients all over the world. We have about 6,000 students, out of which 2,000 of them are practicing. And I am proud to tell you, I have more than 200 students in Goa also. So this is all about Vastu Raviraj. Let me tell you in brief about what is Vastu Shastra. As per the definition, what we can say, the Vastu Shastra is nothing but synchronization of 5 elements: the earth, the water, the fire, the air and the space, with 8 directions. And with due respect to the gravitational force, electromagnetic field, and the cosmic energy, universal energies, and its impact on the human life. So wherever there is a land to put our footprints, wherever there are 4 walls and there is a roof to protect our head, and it is used by the human beings. So for all type of premises, Vastu principles or Vastu Shastra is very much applicable. So my dear friend, it's a very big subject. As far as scientific perspective are concerned, I think the soul to universe slide you can show that here. See, my dear friend, human body is made up of 5 elements. The blood, that is water. The breathing, the air. The energies or calories, that is fire element. There are so many cavities in the human body, that is a space element. And the bones and flesh is nothing but the earth element. So human body is made up of 5 elements. The premises where we are now sitting or where we are working, all that come from 5 elements, and the universe is also made up of 5 elements. So for this body, human body needs to have energy interaction with this universe, and between the two is a Vastu. And if this Vastu facilitates the energy exchange, it is as per Vastu Shastra. If it is creating obstacles for the energy interaction, then it is without Vastu principles, or that means it is responsible for creating some problems. So now coming to the, I would like to have that 8 directions and then 5 zones. So as you know, for your practical premises, it's a premises. Preferably it should be square or rectangle. But generally you don't get every premises or every plot absolutely square or rectangle. But at times basically whenever you purchase a big land and then you create the plots, then probably there are chances. But remember, these are basically, I can say, horizontally and vertically, if we divide into 3 parts, just now I know whenever I'm telling you, you will try to imagine what is there in my factory. So then 8 directions, and the previous slide please. So these are the 8 directions, and middle part we call it is as a Brahma region, as a central zone. So next, that is this premises again further can be divided into 8 parts, that is 8 directions like this. This is basically the color required in each direction. That doesn't mean that you should have such color bands, but the symbolic representation of this color also will help you to create a harmonious atmosphere, and wherever there is a positive atmosphere, this positive atmosphere leads to positive mindset, and ultimately positive mindset leads to creativity, productivity and efficiency. So north and east is the region of water element, east and south, that is southeast, is a fire element, then south and west is a southwest, that is earth element, and between west and north it is air element, whereas the central region, Brahma region, is the region for space. Next slide. So my dear friend, whenever any factory or you want to set up, or it is already set up, it starts with the purchase of the land. See, my dear friend, this southwest has to be the highest. Let me have the place. It should be highest heaviness. That means maximum weight load. All the heavy machineries should be placed in this region. And the weight allocation, there is a very simple formula. If you put 1 ton here, that means between northeast and northwest it is 1:2. But between northeast and southeast it should be 1:3, and northeast and southwest 1:4. That means if you put 100 weight here, 75 in southeast, 50 in the northwest and 25 in the northeast. So this is one basic factor, and remember, whenever I go for any factory visit, there I find major problem here. I know I have been able to see some of your faces where I have been able to see the movement of your eyes and some forehead. That means you are trying to recollect what is there in my factory at southwest or what is there in the northwest. See, from this, what I would like to tell you, we will focus mainly on this slide only. There are so many slides also, or otherwise in between, whenever I talk of northeast, you can show that chart. So my dear friend, this is a northeast, that means water element. As per Vastu Shastra, it should be open or lightweight. There should be slope, and the most important thing is the entrance should be there in this region, and there should be whatever the water requirement you have. Simply remember that you should have the underground water storage in the northeast. Rather, I will say, any one of you who is planning to go for a new industry, आप सबसे पहला काम एक ही करो, तिथे फक्त तुम्ही नॉर्थ ईस्ट मध्ये एक खड्डा करा आणि पाणी तिथे ठेवा. मला याच्यावरून आता आठवलं, इथे आता गोव्यामध्ये तुम्ही एसीझेड स्टॉप केले, पण एसीझेड मला वाटतं 6 ते 7 वर्षापूर्वी सिप्लातर्फे एक एसीझेड प्रमोट करण्यात येत होता, आणि त्याचा नकाशा माझ्याकडे आला होता. मी पहिल्यांदा त्यांना सांगितलं की हा नकाशा तुम्ही नका घेऊ, म्हणजे या प्रपोजल मध्ये पडूच नका, कारण त्यांच्याकडे साऊथ मध्ये मोठ्या प्रमाणावर पाणी होतं. म्हटलं ही इन्व्हेस्टमेंट तुमची ब्लॉक होईल, आणि तुम्ही अक्षरशः म्हणजे त्यानंतर 4-5 वर्ष चालल्यानंतर गव्हर्नमेंटचं डिसिजन आलं एसीझेड स्टॉप करण्यासाठी. पण आय टेल यू, त्या कालावधीमध्ये त्यांना ट्रिमेंडस प्रॉब्लेम आले. याच्या उलट मी तुम्हाला सांगेन की पुण्यामध्ये हिंजवडी IT पार्क जो आहे, मी असं म्हणेन की पुण्यातलं मेजर ITचं जे आहे, साधारणपणे आजपासून 15 वर्षापूर्वी हिंजवडीला जेव्हा MIDC सेटअप करायची सुरुवात झाली, तेव्हा पहिल्या काहीतरी 450-500 एकरचा पहिला प्लॅन जो होता, प्लॉट मॅप, MIDCचे चीफ आर्किटेक्ट प्लॅनर संजय पाटील यांनी तो माझ्याकडे पाठवला होता, आणि आम्ही त्याला तिथे बरेचसे प्रॉब्लेम्स होते. गव्हर्नमेंट लेवलवर ह्या प्रकारची कामं करायला नेहमी रेजिस्टन्स येतो, पण मग काही प्रायव्हेट एजन्सीजना तिथे इन्व्हॉल्व करून आम्ही तिथला काही बेसिक इन्फ्रा वास्तुशास्त्रानुसार प्लॅनिंग करून घेतला. आणि माय डिअर फ्रेंड, टुडे यू नो हाउ इज द सिच्युएशन ऑफ हिंजवडी, that is IT park from Pune. So this is one. So northeast, always remember, whenever you going for any new setup or even in your present setup, please remember, if you ensure the water body here, underground water body, that will lead to prosperity. But at the same time, my dear friend, suppose if your water body comes here in southeast, there will be problems, delay, obstacles, cost, unproductive expenses, and delay, obstacles, hurdles. will be the major problem. Even I tell you, the water body in the southeast may lead to some maybe malpractices in purchase, maybe theft, burglary. Even I tell you, anybody having water storage in the southeast region, the maintenance cost of their electrical instruments will be very high. See, why I'm telling you all this? I want you to just check it with your own factory. Does it happen? And if it is happening, then only I will say how Vastu Shastra can play an important role. That is what my intention is. So, any arrangement in the northeast is mainly responsible for wealth inflow. If your northeast is well planned, the money inflow will be definitely good. I know I can have a question from some of you, my factory is growing definitely, I don't have any problem though my northeast is very heavy. I will accept your statement, but I would like to tell you, had it been whatever the progress you have achieved, but had it been the northeast more open and light, whatever you are today will be, you would have been much better than what you are today. So northeast basically prosperity, or it brings in the opportunities, it brings in the wealth inflow, it is also responsible for health, and when it comes at residential level, it also contributes to the academic progress of the family members. So this is what the arrangement from northeast what we get. My dear friend, I am briefing you in a very short manner because I am playing between you and your lunch. So I know I have to take care of this, and I am definitely just putting salient features of these subjects. So whenever the Vastu northeast is disturbed, as I told you, progress will be held up, production will be affected. I have come across many factories, or rather even immediately after the inspection, I can tell you what must be the situation or what must be the problems you are facing. Whenever there is a problem in northeast, remember your install capacity can be X, but your production will be much less than the desired or the optimum. What is the install capacity? This is one of the factors. Then comes to southeast. Southeast is the region of fire element. That means suppose if you have furnace, boiler, the electrical transformer, and entire your all that electrical installations, everything should be always in the, even something like welding and all those activities. For that matter, any activity involving fire, even in a chemical plant, if you have any production system in which the reactions are exothermic, that means producing the heat during the process, all such things. Even in the confectionery or bakery plant, that complete baking unit always should be in the southeast. I know I am doing a lot of work for many confectionery industries also. And there, of course, the main part, the baking part, where the temperature variation goes on. I have doing a lot of work for many plastic industries, extrusion work industries, where again the temperature variation is there, and all those activities needs to be planned in southeast. But suppose if your fire element is placed somewhere else in other directions, the problem will be delay, obstacles, unproductive expenses. As I told you earlier with water body also, malpractices or something in the purchase department. And remember, when there is a Vastu defect simultaneously in the northeast and south,